It is not an equal opportunity.
Low or no cost.
For our next president, Donald J. Trump.
I knew that Donald Trump had the leadership and the vision to make America great again.
I see how hard he works each day and night.
We need Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
We all have to vote like our lives.
And to change the way our society.
We reimagined our economy with new jobs and even new industries.
Our cities are strong because our people make them strong.
Delaware is proud to cast its 32 votes for our favorite son and our next president.
Our friend, Delaware's Joe Biden.
2020 is a chance for Democrats to make a comeback. The Democratic National Convention was their moment to shine. From being mindful about the pandemic to empathizing with a regular American. Democrats did it all.
We need to make sure that Democrats have a seat at the table.
Plans to bring back union jobs in manufacturing and create new union jobs in clean energy.
The former First Lady of the United States kicked off the convention with a key address.
A nation that's underperforming not simply on matters of policy, but on matters of character.
Michelle Obama single-handedly destroyed Trump's narrative. She had one simple message for voters.
If you think things cannot possibly get worse, trust me, they can. And they will if we don't make a change in this election.
This is a battle we will win, and we'll do it together. I promise you.
In 2014, he helped stop the
Desperate Housewives star and immigration activist Eva Longoria took the center stage. She deemed the 2020 election as the most important of her lifetime.
I'm here tonight as a ninth-generation Texan, as a daughter of a veteran and a teacher, as a mother, as a voter, and as a patriot. I share Joe Biden's belief that the story of America is one of ordinary people coming together to do extraordinary things.
To reimagine what our nation will be, that's Joe.
Political events often give little to no space to emotions.
He was there for me, he'll be there for you too.
Faced with a president of cowardice, Joe Biden is a man of proven courage.
I was diagnosed with ALS today.
The DNC gave a platform to a man whose powerful story was one that the world needed to know.
The president passed a tax bill that put my health care at risk. So I went to Washington, D.C. I wanted to help create a better country for you to live in.
I am speaking to you through this computer voice because I have been paralyzed by a mysterious illness called ALS. Like so many of you, I have experienced the ways our healthcare system is fundamentally broken. We live in the richest country in history, and yet we do not guarantee this most basic human right. The
DNC was a tribute to America's diversity. It featured frontline workers, business owners, farmers, racial justice leaders, who all had one purpose: to support Joe Biden.
And tonight,
no more politeness anymore. We have a lot to do, and Senator Kamala Harris is going to get us there.
We don't know what the future holds. One thing is for sure: Democrats will go down in history for pulling off a virtual convention with perfection. This was not a typical political event. It gave us something that would not have been possible in a world without COVID-19.
He'll prioritize equity and bring new clean energy jobs to black and brown neighborhoods, because that is how we build back better.
We need a president who is committed to protecting ours, and that's Joe Biden.
A visual journey across the United States.
No matter where we came from, immigrants belong in our country's long fight for justice. We belong in the America we are building together.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris accepted nominations and braced themselves for a long and difficult road ahead. Fireworks lit up the sky as the DNC ended with Coldplay's Beats.
Our nation and
as the DNC concluded on what Republicans called a dark and depressing note, Trump promised an optimistic and bright convention.
Like those brave Americans before us, we are meeting this challenge. We are delivering life-saving therapies and will produce a vaccine before the end of the year, or maybe even sooner.
They seized every opportunity to woo voters. The Republicans opted for a part digital, part in-person convention. They played their trump card on the first night of the RNC.
It was an honor of a lifetime to serve as the United States ambassador to the United Nations.
The grand event was kick-started by Nikki Haley and Tim Scott.
Good evening. I'm Senator Tim Scott from the great state of South Carolina.
Both narrated their inspiring stories, vouched for Trump's leadership, checking all tick boxes.
I am the proud daughter of Indian immigrants. They came to America and settled in a small southern town.
Our family went from cotton to Congress in one lifetime. And that's why I believe the next American century can be better than the last.
Good evening.
What followed turned the Republican National Convention into the Trump show.
Now the Republican Party is the home of free speech.
It featured the man who is arguably Trumpier than Trump himself, Donald Jr.
Joe Biden's entire economic platform seems designed to crush the working man and woman. Beijing Biden is so weak on China that the intelligence community recently assessed that the Chinese Communist Party favors Biden.
He brought his +1, Kimberly Guilfoyle, who did not really require a mic to get her point across.
Ladies and gentlemen, leaders and fighters for freedom and liberty and the American dream, the best is yet to come.
Day one had only set the tone for the rest of the convention. The world was already in awe. Star speaker of day two was none other than the First Lady. Melania Trump's address included everything that the previous speakers lacked. She managed to paint Trump as an empathizer who works for the people.
In my husband, you have a president who will not stop fighting for you and your families. I see how hard he works each day and night, and despite the unprecedented attacks from the media and opposition, he will not give up.
Eric Trump gave a personal message to his father in his address.
In closing, I'd like to speak directly to my father. I miss working alongside you every single day, but I'm damn proud to be on the front lines of this fight. I'm proud of what you are doing for this country.
This election, I urge each and every one of you.
Trump's 26-year-old daughter also campaigned for 4 more years of Donald Trump.
You see, Make America Great Again is not a slogan for my father. It is what drives him to keep his promise of doing what is right for American citizens.
Pompeo stole the show thanks to his controversial address.
Today, because of the president's determination and leadership, the ISIS caliphate is wiped out. It's gone.
Vice presidential nominee Pence dominated day 3 with his acceptance speech. It was raining praises for Trump and jibes for Biden.
He does things in his own way, on his own terms. Not much gets past him. And when he has an opinion, he's liable to share it.
On the concluding night of the RNC, Ivanka Trump introduced her father, just like she did back in 2016.
Washington has not changed Donald Trump. Donald Trump has changed Washington.
And then came the moment Trump supporters had been waiting for, the president's address.
Americans build their future. We don't tear down our past. We are the nation that won a revolution.
No masks, no social distancing. The final night of the RNC was exactly how Trump wanted it to be.